going to do this and we'll get going. 1999, Jesus.
The New Year's come and we're back on the Manchester Bolton and Bury Canal, and it is a particularly cold day. In fact, it's the first time I've ever seen it completely frozen over. The actual canal has frozen, which is a bit different. So it's a very fine, very cold, crisp day, and we've got plenty of stuff to do. We're going to be putting up fencing today, and it should be a nice, productive work party. At least we're not getting rained on for once.
All three of us.
Because it's actually a cold day, it's incredibly cold. When I got in the car this morning, it was -6. It's a bit nippy. This is something. The canal is actually frozen over. I can show this. Yeah, it's actually frozen solid. Which means I can show something. Got permission to do this, don't worry, I asked nicely. If I get something like a skimming stone, now you'd normally be able to skip stones across the water, but it's frozen, so it makes a very interesting noise. Because this basically is all one solid block of ice, and it's very thin, if you skim a stone across this, I recommend trying this on a frozen river more than anything, but I just want to show it here. If you skim a stone across this, it makes fantastic noise. Like that. I think it just went through the ice myself, but I'll probably turn that up a bit in post-edit. A bit quiet, but yeah, it's a good centimetre thick actually. You know, it's not something to be messed with. It's pretty impressive. I've never actually seen this canal frozen over because I've never come here in -10 temperatures. But yeah, it's not thick enough to walk across though, so trust me, I'm not going to be trying to do any jogs across this. That was a bit stupid. Never actually try and walk across frozen water unless it's been proven to be safe, because you can never see how thick ice is. But yeah, now we're going to actually try and get into some work, and I'll stop playing around with the ice. So, one of the main things we're doing this work party, you notice we cleared all these trees because they're actually getting pretty dangerous. If you look at the one behind me, it's split and they're dangerous, so these all come out. We'll be planting newer trees in to replace some of the ones that we've cut down. Well, these will be smaller, growing more like scrub trees than anything. We'll be planting them all over rather than in one big set area. At the moment, we're putting in more fencing because obviously the trees have gone now. We want to try and keep a lot of this fenced off because it's not exactly a safe site. So we're putting in this new fencing, but we've got the same problem that we had earlier in the year, where there's just tons of rubble under the road surface. So getting through it's a nightmare. You have to get through the rubble, and then eventually, when you're about that deep down, you can put in the post. So you can imagine how much of a slow process it is. We put in about 4 or 5 posts now. The darker ones are the ones we put in, and it's going really well at the moment. We're going to hopefully, by the end of the weekend, get them all the way along. We're just hoping that the weather holds out because we're forecast to get quite a fair bit of snow tonight, and we're really hoping that we don't get too much, otherwise we'd have to cancel, which would be a real shame. But this is all going to get on. I'll do more filming around the site, and we'll see you in a bit. He's a bit confused by the ice. That's the signet, isn't it? Yeah. For those who don't know, which would be difficult not to know, there was some floods that happened over Boxing Day. Unfortunately, this river, the River Irwell, was particularly badly hit. If I scan over, there is a shipping container there that has smashed into several bridges on the way down before finally landing there, and it's going to have to be removed along with a lot of the branches and everything underneath the old horse bridge. It's snowing pretty heavily now, but there's damage all along the river. Luckily our aqueducts stayed firm. They were in very good nick, both the remaining ones, so both survived very well. But yeah, there's a shipping container all the way down here. I think it floated something like 2 or 3 miles. I'll have to put on a bit of in editing how long it actually floated. But yeah, it's very impressive. If you have a look at the snow, Look at that. Isn't that nice? You grew up. You're going to go back like that then. So, well down here, this is what Ian's been doing all day, one of the volunteers. See this bit, you can't see it from the path, but this is actually the bottom basin. And there's this small bit of path down here. And it's very overgrown, so Ian's come down and he started basically hacking everything back. So it's now you can see what it is rather than just overgrown scrub. So along here he's cleared off the coping stones, and here is actually the overspill. You see, you can't see it, but there's actually these are two big slabs, and the overspill is underneath. Now the overspill was for the locks, the idea being if there was too much water, instead of having the water flow over the gates which causes damage, unless they're built for it, the water flows down the side instead, and it flows down all the locks and comes out here, which is fed into the bottom basin, which goes along the canal. You can see the swan, the little cygnet over there, has been trying to break up all the ice on the basin all day. I got a great video of him trying to stand on it, it was hilarious. But he has come along and cleared all this out, which is, now you can actually see what it is, and you can see all of this. Unfortunately, we won't be able to fix this. It's actually so overgrown, there's now like solid earth down there. So what we'll have to do one day is dam it off by the aqueduct, drain it, and clear it out there. But as you can see, it goes all the way along, and down there is a little branch of the canal which actually led to that dry dock I was telling you about. There's the little girder bridge over it. It's only very narrow, and it's not going to be restored, unfortunately, as far as I know. But yeah, this is the bottom basin of the canal. It's a pretty impressive sight. So we're going to get a bit more film today. It's actually snowing right now, so which is really nice. But we're starting to pack up now because last time on a work party when it snowed, they left it a bit too late and nearly got snowed in. So we best start packing up the stuff. But this is pretty impressive. We'll probably join you tomorrow then. Nope. Yeah, it snowed quite a lot. Luckily the work party wasn't cancelled, but unfortunately due to the amount of snow that fell, I wasn't actually able to get a lift to the work party because I don't live locally. Luckily, other members of the Canal Society were fortunate enough to be able to make it, and they did manage to get the fencing finished even with the bad weather, so credit to them. Hey Sam,